Okay. Put the gun down before you kill someone.
Teenage Girl's Diary.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Dollar Store Drive-In.
With dogs.
With dogs.
Oh, I just wanted to do the alliteration.
I'm your host, Laura.
I'm Joel.
We're the Newlydeads.
We are.
If this is your first time watching, this is our half-hour show where we talk about a movie that we found at a discount store. So it could be the dollar store or like a Family Dollar or a Walmart or some sort of bargain bin. But this week is different.
Somebody's car that they left abandoned.
Yes.
What? Oh.
This week's different.
Oh, wait, yeah, there's nothing there.
No. What happened? Why don't we have a movie?
Because it's invisible like...
The interwebs?
Oh, no, well, I was going to say like Dracula in a mirror, but, you know. Dracula.
Yeah. Yes. So we watched Tales of Dracula. Yes. Which was a movie that someone messaged Joel about. And we watched it on the YouTubes.
Which it is available to stream for free on YouTube right now. It's from 2015 by Joe DeMuro. And he contacted us through Facebook and asked if we would, if he could be a guest on our show, which, we don't really do guests. But we offered to watch his film and review it because they've got a sequel that is coming out any day now. They're working on wrapping up the last of that. So it is coming, but, we got the opportunity to watch this and talk about it and let you know what we thought.
Yeah.
It's a first.
It is a first.
So
normally I've got like a little movie here so I can kind of read the synopsis, but instead I've got the old phone, so I'm going to pull it up and explain. I am typing in my password, and it says Joel's phone.
While she's doing that, though, if you have a film yourself that you would like us to watch, which we haven't talked about this ahead of time, but I'm thinking out loud here. Even if it's a short film, we could squeeze it in amongst our review of our other films, too. But primarily, full-length films, whatever.
I like short films.
Yeah, let us know. We would be happy to take it on. That's kind of more of a caffeinated thing that you'll find on our YouTube channel, which is at YouTube.com/@thenewlydeads. But we also may do some of it here, so
yeah,
kick it our way.
Yes. So, Tales of Dracula, I'm just going to read the summary here. So it says, to regain his strength, Dracula, the king of vampires, has returned to his native soil and his castle in the Carpathian Mountains. While there, he seeks a new bride to do his bidding and he chooses a farmer's daughter, pure of heart. However, Victoria Frankenstein has other plans for the infected blood of Dracula's new bride. Victoria plans to rejuvenate the monster created by her grandfather Henry Frankenstein by mixing the vampire's blood with the blood coursing through the monster's veins. Once Dracula learns of this treachery, he sets out to take his revenge. And this summary was actually written by the guy Joe DeMuro.
Yeah.
So
there's a lot of Frankensteins because the front of it says Peter.
Frankenstein.
Her name's Victoria, and then you said the Frankenstein listed in the synopsis was
Henry Frankenstein.
Henry. So we got 3 different Frankensteins. Well,
it's Frankenstein's monster. Yeah, Victoria Frankenstein, and then Henry Frankenstein.
But on the front of Victoria's castle or homestead, it says
Peter.
But I think that's because they mentioned in the film that she doesn't want to be referred to as a woman.
No.
But
her grandfather is Henry Frankenstein, but Peter was her dad.
Oh, was her dad. Okay, that's right.
I remember that part.
I got a little confused. That's my fault, not their fault.
Yeah, but she doesn't really, like to be referred to, I think, as, like, female, right?
Yeah.
She just wants to be called doctor because she wants to be taken seriously in this time frame.
Because at that time...
Whenever this time frame was.
Turn of the century, early Victorian. I'm not sure exactly when it takes place. It doesn't give us a date.
Right.
But, a female doctor would kind of be looked on as... I don't know if that was a thing. If a woman could go to medical school.
I guess it depends on the time frame because we weren't entirely sure. But yes, there were
or
lots
she could have been trained by
there were a lot of women who did medical
grandfather.
things, but maybe not recognized for it.
Right. It's a different time.
They were a different time. Should we show the trailer?
Before we get into the who did what and
the
for who and for how much.
Yeah.
The what? The meat and potatoes?
The meats and potatoes.
That's what I say. We're learning.
So yeah, let's watch the trailer. You guys can get an idea of what we watched, and then we will be back to discuss. So we will be right back.
A werewolf.
You have come freely, but I fear you will not go safely.
No existe ni sparate dentro
You have to make time. The moon will be full tonight. I need your help. It's a curse of the werewolf to kill the one he loves.
And we're back.
We are, and front. We have both sides.
Also, I do want to mention, I forgot to mention this earlier, I like to mention, if you are watching this at 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, or 7:30 Eastern Time, on Wednesday evening, then we are now live in the chat room. So if you go to tinglertelevision.com, yes, you can chat with Mr. Joel over here, Mr. Newlydeads.
She's here with me too, but I'm the one who actually has the computer.
He's the typey guy. He's the funny one. Yeah, you'll get to chit chat. Funny looking.
You're beautiful, but you are funny too.
Yeah. So if you want to chit chat with us, you can talk to us about the movie. Mm-hmm. You can talk to us about what you did today. You can talk to us about your dogs.
Swap recipes. Talk about suggestions for things that we could do on our other channel that doesn't involve Dollar Store, or direct us to a local Dollar Tree or something, or say hey.
Or if you just want to say hi and say, I'm having a great day, and I just wanted to say hi back.
Yep, we're trying to get people to join us to hang out and watch the movie.
Please,
it's a community thing.
It's a community. Joel's lonely. There's only been a couple people who have gone on the chat before. Yeah, he's a lonely guy. He wants to chat with you.
Oh. It's gotten weird all of a sudden.
Yeah, it's funny. Anyways, so
right.
You want to explain some things?
Yeah, so I took we always take notes and draw little pictures to go with it. So the director, as we stated before, was Joe DeMuro, who reached out to us regarding this film. He also is an actor in the film. He plays Frankenstein's monster. He is a producer on a couple of other films, Demon Messenger and Mark of the Werewolf, which I don't have my phone handy, and I don't know if I wrote it down, but I'll have to look it up here because I don't know if you're gonna be able to find it on there.
Oh.
There is the sequel coming to this film, which I do want to mention that before I forget. And this is really, terrible that I'm doing this on my phone right now. I should have had this on my notes, but sorry about that.
That's okay.
And I'll put this in the screen here. You can see that Dracula Meets the Wolfman is the follow-up that is going to be coming, because I'll show you.
Wolfman.
Look at that. Wolfman.
That's a cool
So
poster.
you know about that. It is, yeah. They did a nice job. The writer on this was Joe DeMuro. He was also helped by Thomas Rice, who is writing an episode of an upcoming television show called The Turn, which I'm not sure what that's about. It stars, like I mentioned, Joe, Tom DeLillo, who has done a bunch of short films. He's the one that is playing Creighton,
Yes.
who is the Wolfman.
Yeah.
And Wayne Johnson, who is playing Count Dracula, he's done the most as far as credits are concerned, at least out of the main actors that I looked up. And he's actually done several films that I'm familiar with, including House Shark, which at some point you need to watch. It's probably about 15 to 20 minutes longer than it should be because it's over 2 hours long. But when you have a movie about a killer shark that is in a house, you know it's going to be fun, right?
I mean, I've seen gator movies like that, so...
I mean, this one is something special. It's on the shelf, if that tells you anything. It is on the shelf.
House Shark.
House Shark.
Check it out.
He was also
Joe
in...
Bob.
4 Joe Bob says, or 4 stars, Joe Bob says, check it out. Anyway, he was also a small role in Clean, which if you've... I've seen it. I don't believe you've seen it yet. It is the Adrian Brody action movie in the vein of, say, like John Wicky type thing.
Interesting.
Not like John Wicky links, but like John Wicky.
Who was in that?
Wayne Johnson, who played Count Dracula.
Oh.
Yeah, he plays a small role in it, but it was a pretty big budget movie, and it's good. It's a good action flick. He's also going to be in The Barn 2, which, if The Barn is kind of this sleeper Halloween film that feels like Halloween. It's low budget, but the effects are great. The script is enjoyable. It was a really good, like, lo-fi kind of movie. And they made a sequel. I don't know if it's actually been released yet. That part I'm not sure.
The Barn 2.
Wayne Johnson is in that one as well. So if you haven't seen The Barn, watch that first, then come watch The Barn 2. So that's the main gist of the people that were involved.
Yeah.
So we should probably dig into
What you think?
the film itself.
Yeah. I felt like it felt like I was watching a play, which is not necessarily a bad thing.
No.
You know, the way that it was, like, acted and everything, and, like, the way that it was, like, the scenes were cut, right? I felt like it was, like, you know, like Act 1, Act 2 kind of a thing. You know, like, when they would segue into, like, the next scene, it didn't, like, flow, like, following, like, one particular character, like, throughout the whole thing. It was, like, you know, here's the scene with these dudes, and then, like, you know, they're going to talk and they're going to do their thing, and then it's, like, cut. And then they go to a different scene kind of thing. I mean, I'm assuming this is low budget, right?
Yeah, I mean, it certainly is.
Yeah. And for what they had, I feel like they did a good job, right? You can tell some of the stuff is, like, stock footage and, like, that, you know, things like that. But the way that they used it, I thought was very interesting and, like...
clever.
Clever. Yeah, clever was the right term.
And if you're a fan of any of the old Universal Monster movies, which I'm a big Lon Chaney Jr. fan... Bela Lugosi, Boris Karloff. If you've seen any of the original Frank Dracker Wolfman movies, it very much is in that vein. And a lot of the reason I think that it kind of feels like a play is that because it is kind of low budget, the sound that they have on it sometimes gets that effect where it sounds like you're on a stage or in a larger room that's maybe not been muted. Or
Yeah,
there's not separate,
like there's no it's not
audio?
deadened. Yeah, like it's...
So that contributes to part of it, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Not that that's a detractor, though. What's that?
Live mic.
It is. It's a very live mic in a live room.
Yeah.
But... and
It
then
didn't detract or anything from it, you know, watching it.
It is shot. It's all in black and white, which I don't know if it was shot in black and white. So
That was a
much as it
smart
maybe was
choice.
Converted.
I like the black and white because I feel like you were saying. I'll let you say it because I know
No,
that
go
was
ahead, please.
your thought. I agree with you on it. So I feel like one of the issues I think I had with it is the fact that like I felt like some of the characters seemed a little out of place, like wardrobe wise.
Oh,
Yeah. And so, but you know, again, I know you've got budgets, sizes with clothes and different things like that might be issues, you know, trying to figure out like what the person's going to be wearing. I felt like some people had really good wardrobe choices and like fit in with what I thought was the time frame of the movie really
Right.
well. And then some people, their clothes looked a little too modern for it, but using the black and white kind of, I feel like made it a little bit more seamless. So like it seemed like some parts of the movie were a little bit more modern, but using that filter of the black and white kind of took away. And is that, I think that's what you were gonna say.
well,
much
and,
about
and
it
it
too.
helped with the blending of the stock footage that they had of the ship, which I'm suddenly drawing a blank on the ship. That they made a whole separate movie about that's coming out soon in major motion picture studio film. And then there were some shots of the crew on the ship that was original
Yeah.
stock footage from I'm not sure
And-
what film, but
And the Dracula flying, you know, parts and stuff like that. I mean,
well, that I think that was there. I think Joe commissioned that to be done.
yeah, I'm saying like it I feel
Oh,
like
you mean
it
with
just
being in black and white and
yeah, it like helped. Yeah, it helped make it fit a little bit better.
'Cause
I thought that was really cool, like the way that they did that too.
it looked good. Like
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of movies that I'm guessing had more of a budget than this did that dropped the ball.
Yeah, it was smart the way that they did it too, because like, you know, Dracula was always in like one spot, and like, you know, he's like, I'm gonna go out and travel, and so like when he'd go out, it was just, you know,
And they, you know, they reuse the same shot, but if you've paid the money for it and you can make
and
it
it makes sense.
feel like it's not the same shot,
I feel like if I
Go
was
ahead.
Dracula and I was leaving my house, then I would fly out the window the same way.
I'd fly out the window.
Yeah.
Not like right now because we're recording, but I would fly out the window. Back to kind of what you were talking about, I did feel like there were some parts that were kind of anachronistic. I got what was being attempted. Like Dracula's wardrobe looked appropriate. It was just Creighton kind of looked a little out of place. I think they were trying to make it Lon Chaney Jr.-esque from his portrayal of the Wolfman. But yeah, it looked a little
Like
out of
too
place.
modern. Like too
Yeah.
modern. Yeah.
Which is fine.
Yeah, I couldn't tell like what the time frame was, but I was guessing by like the method of travel that most of them were doing, right? So like,
Yep.
you know, walking, horseback,
The way that there's candles everywhere. There's not
candles.
lights
There's
per
no
se.
like, there's no indoor lighting.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
There's-
I assumed it was probably 1800s
And
or
I'd like to know where they filmed it because there was a
Earlier.
lot of places that there were that I don't think were sets that were built. I think it was places that they found to shoot at. I'm not sure. Joe, when you watch this, please send us a message. Let us know. But I feel like wherever they got their sets from or their places to shoot played in well, and by utilizing different angles and kind of cuts and things like that, it made it pretty seamless. That it felt like this person was outside and now they've walked into this giant castle or whatever.
yeah, they did a good job. Yeah, wherever they filmed, it was like looked old.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like those parts were perfect. I feel like some of the women's clothing were like really good. Like I felt like that was good time, pieces. The is it Van Helsing was on the train?
Yeah.
Yeah, his outfit I felt like
Yep.
was like spot
Which-
on.
It was kind of clever with the train, with sticking him in a room that looks vaguely like a car,
Yeah.
a travel car, adding the sound effect, and you could have taken it one step further to kind of shake the camera a little bit.
Yeah.
But it was still a good cheat. And I like the fact that there were a lot of references to other Universal monsters or characters, or like the barmaid's name was Elsa.
Yeah.
You know, Elsa Lanchester.
Yeah.
Creighton is a throwback. The Victoria Frankenstein, and you know, there was just a lot of little things in there that were nice touches. And back to the effects, along with I want to say it was digital effect, a CGI or a computer generated image of Dracula, but the practical effects for the Wolfman, Dracula, which Draculas were a little bit minor, but it worked well.
It
and
definitely
Frankenstein's
felt.
monster.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. The Wolfman like transformation, I felt like was very like awesome. Like it seemed like the 30s or whatever.
Directly from looking like the original with the way they cut that together.
Yeah, like his hair like grows, like just it's you can see it how it like layered,
But then they had the scene where Dracula's doing his thing, turning into almost like the Francis Ford Coppola style of vampire, where he flies in, he lands, he's standing upright. You see him kind of hidden by shadows, but he's still in the kind of the bat form. And then just with a quick edit, a little bit of smoke, it's back to the actor playing it, and it was pretty seamless. I was impressed. I don't know if you're getting that from our conversation here, but and the design of Frankenstein's monster, I'm hoping that it was an original design that they had somebody come up with. I'm not sure. I've not seen it before, but the Wolfman and Dracula were, I felt like, beat out some of the big studio versions of the same characters. There were obviously some budgetary constraints that made it a little bit, could have been improved on, but honestly, I was kind of blown away by it. Very well done. So, I want to talk about what they mentioned in the blurb about the blood of Dracula, because I thought it was an interesting twist, but I don't know, is it too much to give that away? Is that giving anything away? Why am I talking like this? I'm getting higher.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like
they mentioned it in the blurb, so
yeah.
You feel like chicken tonight, maybe?
Yeah. I mean, maybe don't explain like how it affects the person 100%, right? Because then you're kind of giving away.
I don't know if it's a big secret or not. Well, let's just say, okay, they kind of mentioned in there enough that I feel like this is without giving away the entire.
I'm gonna look at it again.
Storyline. So you've got these three big, like, classic monsters that are all converging on the same place for different reasons. But Victoria Frankenstein, before the movie ends, she gets some of Dracula's blood, and her desire is, and what she actually does, is to inject it into Frankenstein's monster to then
make him like a super monster.
And we won't tell you exactly how that affects them, because I prefer you just go watch the movie, to be honest. But I have to say, I've never considered that, and I've never seen that before. And we've seen a lot of horror movies.
I mean, it's essentially, turning Frankenstein's monster into a, like, vampire Frankenstein's monster.
Or at least having attributes of it.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I've seen where they've kind of cross-pollinated characters and made other characters that are kind of a little bit of this, a little bit of that. But I don't know that I've
never seen a Dracula Frankenstein mashup.
What did you call it last night?
Yeah.
I think,
Frankula?
I said Frankula and you said Drakenstein.
Drakenstein.
Yeah. Which, again...
we should get that as a tattoo.
Frankula and Drakenstein, which I drew that little picture of.
Oh, he's cute.
Of him,
you're never going to be able to see it.
Yeah, I'm going to see it.
He's got little things.
The only complaint I have outside of, the anachronistic bits, the fact that, sometimes the audio was a little off, but that can all be forgiven. The ending.
Yeah, it's abrupt.
Which I know that I'm guessing based on what Joe had said in his email, and the fact that they already were, there's already a sequel about to come out here soon. they had planned on that being a sequel or a trilogy. I don't remember now if he said one way or the other, but it
ends.
Something happens and then
it ends. Yeah. And
It's over.
and this was from 2015.
Yep.
And the sequel's not coming out until this year.
Right.
So that's like a long.
It's almost a decade.
Yeah.
And again, if you
I would have
gotta raise
been
funds-
sad. Yeah,
Yeah.
I would have been sad, like, if I watched this back in 2015 and expected, like, a
You're like,
sequel to
"Oh,
come out. I would have,
nice."
been sad. Or, like,
And
forgot,
you're like, oh, man, nuts.
I'm excited that they're going to have a new one.
Which, when it comes out, we might have to do a follow-up to that. Because, I mean, are we at that point where we can go ahead and rate it?
Yeah.
All
I'm
right.
going to say, what would you give it out of, 1 out of 5 woofs?
I mean, for what it was and the entertainment value that it was brought and the new concept of the Drakenstein Frankula thing, I'm going to say 3.5 out of 5.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to give it 2.5. I thought it was entertaining, and, I would probably watch it again. It's a short movie, so.
It's an hour and
yeah.
17 minutes.
Yeah.
It's pretty short.
I thought they did a pretty good job. So
I mean, we've not
I
made a movie
enjoyed
in
it much more than I did The Mermaid's Tale.
Mermaid's Curse.
Oh yeah,
She's gonna keep bringing that up. That's her benchmark. That's like everything's rated based on that. If you
did
haven't
better
caught that
than
already,
that. Yeah.
and that had more money, I think, behind it than this did. I'm not
Oh,
sure.
I'm sure. I'm
But
sure.
Joe, good
Yeah.
on you for
Good
taking
job.
a small budget and turning it into something kind of epic.
And thanks for sharing it with us. This is what we're looking for. We want to, see like the movies that aren't, widely advertised. We want to watch the movies that are, low budget because you had a passion for something and you wanted to create something. That's
what
art.
happened here.
So
We had a passion for this, and here we are.
yeah.
And we promise, to be have an honest critique, but not be critical.
Yes.
So,
First thing we've got to do is Joel is going to tell us what his movie is for next week.
I am going to tell
Okay.
us what the movie is for
And
next
then we've got one more thing.
So, if you like low-budget horror films that I'm going to throw out here, and I just wanted to double-check the year on this because I couldn't remember. I'm going to throw this at you, and this is a pretty deep cut, and I feel like chances of too many people seeing this are probably pretty small. I don't know if it's streaming anywhere. I didn't have a chance to check. I probably should have looked at my phone when I was just there. But I'm going with 2009's The Sphere of the Lycanthrope. You've not even seen this.
That's what your recommendation is?
Yes.
If you want to watch something different.
Now, obviously, if you can't guess by the word lycanthrope, this is about a werewolf. I was gifted this film by a former co-host of a podcast I was on called The Awful Show. And she's friends with the director of the film and was trying to kind of get it out there for people to see. And so she sent me a copy. I watched it not expecting anything because I knew it was a low budget. I knew it was kind of like Tales of Dracula, that it was, done on a very tight, tiny little passion project. And I have to admit, this thing blew me out of the water at how much fun it was. Imagine like if Bruce Campbell came back and made another werewolf movie.
Yeah.
Oh, did you want to? I don't know. Sometimes you... Did you read the thing? I don't remember.
No, not on the ones that you do
that's
if it's just your recommendation. Yeah, this is your recommendation, right? This isn't the next week movie.
No, this is what I recommend.
Yeah.
I don't see that it is streaming anywhere according to the Internet Movie Database, but it's won a couple of awards. It's got 7 out of 10 on Internet Movie Database, and that's for a movie that, really small. So, if you can track it down, which it's got to be out there somewhere, highly recommend it.
Check it out.
Joe Bob says, check it out. All right.
And then, so we chose our movie for next week also. So this is what we're going to be watching. And I'm surprised because I did not get to partake in the picking.
This one she doesn't know about, but this was all random. This is not that I chose it.
Oh.
This was completely random because it's going to feel like I might have.
No, I don't think so.
I picked it.
I heard you doing the spinny thing.
I asked Google.
Is it finally time?
Nope.
No?
It is time for
Killer Tattooist! Oh, yay.
How apropos.
I know. We just got new
We
tattoos.
just got new ink. And
They didn't kill us, though.
our friends over at Golden Rose Tattoo.
Golden Rose? It's just Gold Rose.
Gold Rose.
Golden Rose.
Golden Rose.
The
That's what we're going to call it. We're
Golden
changing your
Rose.
name, Joe. Sorry. At Gold Rose Tattoo in Rockford,
You
Illinois.
say Joe?
Yeah, because it's Joe. Or is it Joseph?
It's Josh.
It's Josh. That's a joke that
We have an
It's a running joke.
Yes.
But anyway, yeah, Josh and Steph over at Gold Rose Tattoo.
And all of the artists.
We've been wanting to watch this so we could talk to them about it. Yeah, everybody there's great. But yeah, we both got
New
ink.
inks.
So anyway, this is from 2020.
And we're going to gift that to them, I think, once we're done with it.
We'll see.
Maybe. Unless it's really good. But, I need to read it.
2020, it's pretty new, so...
So, yeah, a series of murders have occurred. The victims found tattooed and skinned.
Oh, double
Weird.
whammy. Why would you tattoo them and then skin them?
When the police hear a family that was found slaughtered had planned to get tattooed together before disappearing, they send an undercover detective, Eva, to the local tattoo parlors. There, Eva meets Nathan, a charismatic tattooist, not knowing that he is the serial killer that she's been seeking. So there's the ending. When the two start dating, Eva has no idea how much danger she's putting herself in and what a horrible end she could face by the hands of the deranged killer tattooist. Oh my gosh.
What's happening? Which incidentally,
It looks amazingly cheesy and like, oh my god,
the alternate title, by the way, is Skinned.
I'm so excited.
So yeah, when
This
I saw
looks
this,
amazing. There's a dagger with a snake on it.
I was happy when the number came up because I had to double check that I wasn't pulling the wrong thing.
excited.
But so
I'm excited.
All right.
It's
If
only
you-
102 minutes long.
that's 90 minutes isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
It's an hour and a
I was
half, so
thinking.
it's an hour and 41 minutes.
I was thinking like hour
42.
and 2 minutes. I'm dumb. Yeah.
Nah,
Anyway.
it's just been a long day. So if you'd like to find us, you can find all of our social media stuff, all of the stuff that we have to sell, and you can find out, you can reach out to us, etc. at thenewlydeads.com. That's our home away from home on the interwebs. I mentioned our YouTube channel earlier. You also can email us directly if you'd like to, like Joe did, either through Facebook or hit us up at contact@thenewlydeads.com. We will be happy to reach out to you and have a conversation because that's how we roll.
Yep.
Sometimes we roll on the floor, but mostly we roll like that.
Yeah. Yes.
Anything I'm
we do
forgetting?
roll on the floor sometimes. No, I don't think so. I think you covered it all.
Excellent.
Yeah. So until next week.
Thanks, Joe, and keep it cheap and creepy.
Bye.
Go look after your mother and sister. Where are you going?